So he says, well, you can invoke open door if you want to, but let me explain, Shayne. You know, now you've got experience at IBM. We can get you a job, right, with one of our clients. They're dying to get anybody who knows anything, right? He not only offered me another job, but that he would get me a big raise from what IBM was already overpaying me. Can you believe this? So he offered, no, I should have taken the job. I mean, they were really nice to me. They were going to throw me out and give me a better job, get me a raise. Imagine, they take care of you, right? No, I want to, this is open door, I want to talk to your boss, right? New apartment, their old apartment in Watertown. I'd been in this beautiful Prudential place. It was a prison. Your friends couldn't park within 5 miles without paying $10, so nobody would come and see me anymore at the Pru. So I went out and smoked some Acapulco Gold that one night in Watertown. And if people tell you there's no difference in different dopes, I took a lease on this apartment in Watertown. I thought it was paradise, right? The next day the sun came up. So stay away from Acapulco Gold. So I'm out in this shithole in Watertown. I'm telling you, you turn on the water for the bath and toilet paper segments would come out. What's this in the bathtub, right? You realize it's how's a little piece of toilet paper. IBM Madison Avenue, the same building, only not the doctor this time. Mr. McGinty, right?
Who was McGinty?
He looked like a detective, actually. He was kind of a short, fat Irishman that worked for IBM. What happened over there, right? So I told him, okay, go back home, we'll get in touch with you. So my dream has come, first I tell the whole story, just like I told you. My dream has come true. I'm getting my checks in the mail, right? I haven't done a day's work for IBM yet. All I've done is gone through the school for 10 weeks, okay? And now I'm home, sitting home, no doubt smoking Acapulco Gold at that point, what was left of it, and getting my checks in the mail. No, this time McGinney says, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're wiping your slate clean, right? I went over to Newark and I looked at the radiators in room 23 in the Robert Pick, right? And I went over to room 22 at 4 in the morning and made sure there was garbage trucks in and so and so. So we're going to put you in the Field Systems Center. That's our ivory tower, right?
The Field Systems Center.
Yeah, in Boston.
It was
the ivory tower. No one in there had, the industry was only 11 years old and no one in there had less than 10 years experience. And they put me in there, right? IBM, they don't fool around with you.
Where in Boston were you?
It was right next to the Pru. There was a IBM center, which
Next
had
to
a
the Prudential building.
Yeah, they had to show up, and they tell me no one's going to know that we've had trouble with you. You get a whole fresh start, right? No raise, and it's would have been right next door to my apartment, except now I'm out in
Watertown.
fucking Watertown, yeah, right. So, but this is a different thing, okay? I come in, and I get a mentor right away, and it's an office twice the size of this room, 3 times, and there's 12 people. These are the smartest computer systems people in Boston, probably in New England, probably in the world, and me. And they put me in there, right? So they're all geeks. None of them want to talk to anyone. But one by one, they come over to me and they say, what's your background, Shayne? You know, and I say, CST in Newark. And they go,
What's CST?
boot camp, right? And they go, what is he doing here, right? I mean, I spent 10 years to get into this thing, and he's here. They hated me, the whole shop immediately. No one would talk to me. From that point on, I was ostracized, okay? And I mean, this was this was the worst job I'd ever, the first job I'd ever had in a way, anything like it, right? Because all I had was a desk and a bookshelf and a bookshelf and a bookshelf filled with technical manuals, and all I had to do was to work from 8:30 in the morning till 5, and most of my work was writing letters in those little boxes, you know, those, how you have to write sometimes on a form, you have to put every letter. That's what programmers did in those days. You weren't supposed to go in. You didn't have a keyboard. You had a block of coding paper. And I'm working, no one's talking to me, right? My boss says, okay, here's a little job for you to do, right? And he gives me, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. He gives me a 10-week project that would take 5 men 2 years to do. And I had no training in programming. He's, okay, you're going to write this, we're going to have you write a demo program for accounts receivable, right? But we want you to do it in all 5 programming languages so you can compare how much time you have to put in to do it in each language, okay? So, and of course you have to keep track how much time you put in working on it, on each language, and create, you know, statistical studies and all that, right? Think you can do that in 10 weeks? Oh yeah, no problem. I had 2 years work and I had 10 weeks to do it in, okay? But that's not enough, that for IBM, okay. And then when you came in this place, the manager there, this is the guy I'd never met before, not my direct manager, but he was another one of these Korean War vets, and there was no doubt of it because they always had a model of a Sabre jet on their desk, and a beautiful ashtray, spotless, without an ash in it, with their little cigar. And they had he sat right on the corner in an L-shaped corridor. He was in the corner of the L, watching you go by when you went out to the can, and when you went back, you had to go by him. You went out to lunch, you had to go by him, right? You went by this god sitting there with his cigars. Oh man! And so, and then my immediate boss, he comes over my second or third day. He says, "Oh, we got some Fortran toolkits to install. You know, some third-party software we want to install on the mainframe here. And here's the manual to tell you how to install it, okay? You can do that in your spare time, okay?" And he puts it on the corner of my desk, right? 2 days later, "Oh, here, Shayne, by the way, we got this GLP package to install on the..." "You didn't do that other one? Well, now you got 2 to do, right?" So I have this, on the corner of my desk, I got this growing pile of software, which I have no idea how to install software on a mainframe. Nobody's giving me any training in this. And they just laughing. They're stacking it up on the corner of the desk, okay? So, I'm going to do that as well as my program. And now I run into the infernal key punch, because if you write in those little holes long enough and you give it into the key punch girl, you have to wait a day for them to punch it up for you, right?
What does that mean, punch it up?
Well, you had to, everything could only go into the computer on cards. There were no keyboards. There was one keyboard on the computer, and the operator had it. That was all. It's hard to believe in those days. A big $1 million computer had one keyboard, okay?
So you would write this out on the paper, and then this woman would...
Yeah, key punch girl, they called her. Take it overnight, she would punch it into the cards, right? So the first time I tried that, she didn't put a J in column 89 because she was a new key punch girl. There's one day out of the 50 days you got to do your project. The next day she puts a K in the wrong column, and there's another day, 2 days out of your project. I still haven't gotten any cards to put into the computer. Okay.
And that was a position, a key punch girl.
Yeah, there was like a group of them, you know. And IBM, to get these cards punched, IBM rented you the punch machines. And one reason I'm hard of hearing is because they had hammers that punched holes in the cards all day long. And eventually, you'd forget the girls, you go up there and start punching, right? And this machine, I wish I had a movie of it. It had a couple switches on the front, right? So you'd start punching. You could not see what you were punching in the card. You were typing blind. They had because it's, you know, a hammer, so you couldn't see, maybe you were 2 or 3 characters behind coming out of the thing. So of course you'd make endless mistakes. And then you'd hit a switch to clear the card and get another one. And you'd hit the switch, and 5 cards would shoot through. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. And you get no way to stop it, right? Then they go into the outshoot, right? So next to the key punch machine, there was a wastebasket as big as an oil drum, right? I kid you not.
Jeez.
And in a university, it would be full by noon, this thing. Unbelievable. So I end up punching all my own stuff, right? So I said, okay, I'll do my own cards. And by 3 or 4 weeks, I had a program in COBOL almost running. So one of my 5 languages I had for 3 or 4 weeks. So I was already incredibly behind schedule. So, and the other thing was that we had to get up so early. So I said to the guy sitting on the corner, I said to him, you understand, I'm up till 3 or 4 in the morning thinking about the solution to this thing I'm building, right? How do you expect me to come in at 8:30 in the morning? I'm up till 3:30 in the morning. I'm not getting any sleep. And he was very nice looking back on it. You know, I was such a pain in the ass. He was very nice. He said, oh, here's what you do, Shayne. You come in and check in at 8:30 and tell the girl you have personal business, and then go home and sleep all morning. And I thought this was so absurd. I thought, this company, they're out of their minds. I'm going to get out of bed at 7 and come into work and then go back home and go to sleep. I thought they were insane. But of course he was trying to be nice, you see, because this would work within his allowed parameters, allow me to get my sleep. So they were bending over backwards, right, to accommodate me and everything. And then one day, I put a computer card in backwards, and it read it as another number, right? Mm-hmm. And then I put it in upside down and backwards, and it read it as another number. So I now realized I had 4, any card could be read as 4 different numbers depending on the position. So I decided with 16 cards, I would therefore have 64 sides, and I could put 2,048 words, and by assembling these pre-punched cards, I could write my programs with no more holes in the cards, no more key punching, no more noisy machines. And you got to understand, there were these people at the think tank. They were the top people in the business. They were getting the equivalent of $120,000 a year. They were sitting at key punch machines like me, punching their own cards because the whole process was so painful and slow, you see. And I had found the solution, the recyclable computer card for programming.